Sometimes when we hear the teachings of Buddhism and other contemplative traditions, and they explain or they talk about the sort of happiness and well-being that we really seek, sort of a lasting happiness, lasting well-being, that they're not to be found out there, which is of course where we kind of naturally tend to wander, but it's that we find this lasting well-being within the mind. That to enjoy outer circumstances, you need to have a happy mind anyway, right? That if your mind is not at peace, then you won't enjoy that good meal anyway. You won't enjoy that time with friends if you're in inner turmoil. And so we see these teachings, they encourage us to look within, to cultivate happiness, well-being within, not just seek it in the right house, the right job, right car, and so on. And so we see these teachings, and there can sometimes end up being a sort of aversion to external happiness, or a feeling that, it's wrong. I shouldn't be enjoying this hedonic thing, or I shouldn't do this. I should be pursuing something internal, right? That's what's meaningful. But this is a bit of a wrong approach. Even though worldly happiness has the limitations that we know about, if we've heard this kind of teaching, that of course it never lasts, it's fleeting, it's temporary, it's unable to be controlled, and so on. There is nothing wrong with experiencing happiness or joy when encountering these external things that give rise to it. There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, as long as we're living in the world, worldly happiness is inevitable, which we can be very glad about, that we will experience joys from the things outside of us. Of course, difficulties as well. So whether we're spending time with friends, we're eating a nice meal, we're enjoying the stillness of a cold morning, listening to our favorite music, whatever it is, there's a good chance that we're going to experience some worldly happiness from it. So many things in this world will give rise to what we call worldly happiness, and long may we enjoy them, and long may they continue. So where is the issue then? Where is the issue? The issue is without realizing that our mind alone is the source of the genuine, lasting happiness, a sort of well-being that's not dependent on external things. So long as we kind of miss that, then we get all caught up, don't we? We continue to search, we continue to grasp outwards for our happiness. And by doing that, we place our happiness and we place our well-being in the hands of other people and in the external world. We literally give them control. And then our happiness is always at their mercy. They have power, they have control, and we let them decide how we should feel. Because if this doesn't turn out the way I want it to, then I'm going to be upset. And so, well, you don't control how it's going to turn out. We can try our very best, and we do try, don't we? But ultimately, we don't have control of what happens, rising prices and conflicts in our world and so on. The bigger things, but also the smaller things. So this approach then of just constantly seeking and searching outside of ourselves, we're disempowering ourselves. So then we can almost feel, well, there's a contradiction here. Which is, sometimes we feel, well, no, I need to withdraw from these things. So how can I enjoy them? How can I be present with them? We're saying that that's not bad, and not grasp and not get attached to them and the pleasure that they trigger in me. How can I not desire more of that when it's so enjoyable and so nice? And so this becomes the challenge of having a joyful gratitude when enjoying all of these external things, while at the same time working on weakening our grasping and our attachment to them. And so there's an analogy that I heard from Chamcho Rinpoche, which is really quite helpful. And he says, if you were to imagine catching a bird with this grasping and with this attachment, and you're holding on to it tightly with a clenched fist, and you're not wanting to let it fly away, don't go, I'm enjoying this. And so you're holding this bird. But now instead imagine just allowing the bird to fly down and land on your open hand, the open palm. And without grasping, without attachment, without tightening your grip, you just enjoy watching it come, watching it go as it pleases. So we need to make our mind like the open hand. Enjoy life without the grasping and without the attachment. And so those external things that we enjoy, we let them come and we let them go. We let the good come and go, we let the bad come and go. Not trying to dominate, not trying to control, not that need, that grasping, because it is that which actually binds us emotionally, isn't it? It is that control which then hands over our well-being to the hands of others, to the external world, because we're trying to dominate that which cannot be. We're trying to control that which we ultimately cannot control. We do have a sense of control, don't we? There's a sense of control that we have, because sometimes it can work. Pursuing, getting, acquiring more, sometimes it works. But the sense of control is illusory. It gives us a false security. And then we push for more. We push for more control. But ultimately, it is outside of us. And so then it's subject to a myriad of different causes and conditions that can change at any given moment. So instead, then, the approach here is opening our hand, be open. And then you get to experience both. You can enjoy the worldly happiness and worldly pleasure, but by opening your hand and not grasping, then we get to experience also a genuine, lasting happiness, a well-being that arises from deep within our own mind, something that's not contingent on external circumstances. And so Chamtul Rinpoche says this saying of be in the world but not of the world. And so it's a kind of maintaining a sense of, I'm out there in the world, I'm having to engage as I do, I'm dealing with all the dramas at work, I'm enjoying what comes my way as well, but I'm maintaining another level of awareness here, that the genuine happiness that I seek is actually within.